Welcome, everyone. We're going to get started. I will begin with the agenda. This year, we had 1,748 applications. Thanks to Pepper Coast Leads for partnering with us this year and supporting our expansion to Liberia. And I also want to say a big shout out to all the other literary organizations and media platforms that helped us amplify the visibility of the fellowship to get to the people we need to apply and the people we want in the fellowship. We're now in 4 countries: Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, and Liberia. Hopefully next year we'll be able to expand to other African countries and eventually cover the whole Africa with this fellowship. 94 fellows started this fellowship and 88 fellows are graduating today, which is a huge number. We had a 93.6 retention rate, which is our highest retention in all the cohorts of the fellowship. And we had 102 mentors who volunteered and served as backup for this year's fellowship. So I want to say congratulations to everyone that has been a part of this year's cohort in one way or another. For the fellows, you're one of 333 fellows that have graduated from the Sprinng Writing Fellowship from 2018 to 2024. So congrats and a round of applause for you. I also want to give a special shout out to Adeola. Okay, Adeola was our intern for the first 6 months of this year. I want to give a special shout out to her for jumping in as needed, helping to distribute airtimes last minute, and just coordinating things on the back end to make sure all the fellows are well supported. So thank you, Adeola. And for those who don't know, Adeola was a 2020 fellow in the Sprinng Writing Fellowship. So this is an opportunity to show you guys that we still engage with our fellows even after graduation, and we want to see you participate with whatever Sprinng has to offer as the years go by. Feel free to raise your hand or just unmute yourself if you want to share one memorable moment or the best part of the fellowship for you, a turn, one challenging experience that you had to overcome during the fellowship, or any feedback for the Sprinng team. And the soil, what advice you take away from this experience? Yes, Chidera.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
So, my memorable moment was actually yesterday. Yesterday, because my mentee was running, one of my mentees was running late. And then in the email she sent me, she mentioned something, a description that I made in her writing, because in a particular scene, she said a room was sprayed with the smell of something. And it looked really weird to me. So I made corrections. And I love the fact that she made the rewrites, got it right. And then in the email, she said, I am grateful that I am no longer spraying smells. That melted my heart. The fact that she remembered that, and then the fact that she told me, thank you for being understanding. I didn't think I was understanding. I thought I was pushing too much. So I guess I showed a bit of restraints. So I'm congratulating myself, and I'm happy that that struck a chord with her. And then the thorn was just, the regular thing, real life messing with your shadow and you not knowing how to deal with it. So it was persistence on our both ends, because my mentee is a medical student and she had I think bi-monthly exams. So that was the only challenge. And then the advice, keep at it, I guess, because I kept checking in. And then she kept writing every day like I asked her, and somehow we were able to make it work. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. So Glorious Olajiri, you can go ahead.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
One memorable moment for me, don't have to be one, but I always enjoyed every session with my mentor, because she was always detailed about corrections in my work, and she was always very open to questions and explaining in detail what she meant and how I can make my work better. I don't really have any challenging experience, but one advice I would take away from this fellowship is that writing is a process, and to be a very good writer, you have to keep at it. So that's one thing I'll take away. Thank you.
Awesome. Flourish, you can go ahead.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good evening.
Okay. So, the most memorable part of this whole fellowship experience though I did not come up as the winner of the contest, but it was the fan picking. Because on that particular day, I was stressed. I was almost dying. But then I just decided to just write something quickly. I was not expecting anything. And then when I saw my name as part of the runner-up, I was proud of myself because I've been submitting some things to different places and I not. So I felt like, okay, at least mine can make it up to second runner, and I felt very proud of myself. Then the challenge I faced during the fellowship period was trying to fix the schedule, usually very tight. And then I and my mentor had different time zones. So while he would be doing the day at the middle of the night and all that, but then we found a way to work it out. And then one advice I'll take away from this is that most of the time when I just read, I give it to other people to read it because I don't want to hear it most of the time. But now I understand that you have to read it, first of all, and then imagine that you are a reader. What do you feel about what you just read? So that is what I'm going to take away. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing, Flourish, and congratulations once again. Jessica, you can go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. And I just want to say congratulations to my fellow mentees that made it to this stage. For me, I would say the most exciting and memorable thing about this whole fellowship had to be my first time writing to the sound of music. I've always written, but I have never actually, tried to follow a beat or a rhythm and try to write a poem to suit that beat or rhythm that I'm listening to. And the first time I ever tried that was so exciting for me. It showed me that I could write under more controlled settings than I imagined. And since I had that experience, subsequently in my writing, even writing out of the fellowship, I have noticed that I tend to just want to hear some sort of sound and, just keep myself under a controlled setting and see how best I can let myself express under that controlled setting. So it was really, really, really encouraging for me and exciting. And I didn't know I could do that. So it was something that I'm grateful for the fellowship.
Thank you for sharing, Jessica. Adejoke, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I think my most memorable moment for the fellowship was when I got in. Because when I applied, I just got a rejection, and then a friend now sent me the link. I was like, I should apply, and the whole don't give up advice and all of that. So when I applied and I got in, it was the most memorable moment for me because I was just shouting about it everywhere and to everyone I could. And okay, one challenging experience for me, I think that was when I had to switch mentors because the very first mentor I had issues keeping up. And so when the switch came, initially I thought, okay, I could do it. But then when the switch came, it felt like there was just a lot of backlog. And at a certain point, I was like, okay, should I just stop and not make it through to the end? But then I think I kept going because I knew I wanted this. I wanted to make it through to the end. And then what's one advice I'll take away from the experience? Okay, one advice I'll take away from the experience is my writing can always be better than the very first draft or first thing I put down. It doesn't have to be that. I can always, read it and read it and read it again and make necessary corrections and corrections and changes. And also that because I am a writer, doesn't mean I have to use all the words that are available to me. I have to pick the best one that suits what I'm writing and, represents everything well. Thank you very much.
That's so delightful to hear, and thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. I want to give a chance for mentors because we've heard from a couple of mentees. Does any mentor want to share their best advice for fellows graduating this year? And I think it's important for a mentor to speak because you have gone much further in this writing journey and experience, and I think the fellows can learn a lot from you.
I'd like to share.
Yes, go ahead.
First of all, greetings, everybody. My name is Lulega Mhlanzi, from South Africa, and my mentee is Zanda Nosenga. And I know she's here. So,
Hi, ma'am.
hey. So, my rose really was the support that we received from you guys at Sprinng, Oyen, and Ebukun, and the team. You made it extremely easy during a very challenging time in our country. We started the fellowship right after we had gone through elections, so you can imagine the hope and the trying to find positivity in the change in the government. So the fellowship reached us at that moment. So the rose really was the support that we would get from the fellowship as mentors, and which would also help us maneuver through everything that we needed to do. I truly appreciate that. A thorn, which is not too much of a thorn, only for one reason it's a thorn, was when my mentee and I were both at festivals. We were at arts festivals in different provinces. So that was delightful. It was a beautiful thing and experience, especially for an aspiring writer that she is, and the author that I am. So that was a thorn because it stole a lot of fellowship time from us, So I think approximately 2 weeks, we were in different provinces at at national arts festival. I think she was in a film festival, if I'm not mistaken, and I was in a general national arts festival. So we had to be physically there and also try to come back and gather the time that we have to finish the work that we needed to do. So that was a bit of a thorn there. But what I'm taking away from the entire experience is that, well, basically, which is my highlight, is that I learned a lot. I understand that I was on the mentor side and I was supposed to offer more guidance, but I learned a lot even from my mentee, in the way that she approaches things and her writing, and how she also explores some of her real emotions so that the story can be believable on paper. So I appreciate even the style that she would use. There's a poem, the first poem that she shared with me, Waterberry, where she counts. So it's such a beautiful poem that is a countdown, and it just has these events that has happened. So yeah, basically what I'm taking away is that no matter where life positions you, there will always be space to learn. You need to be open to learning new things, new styles, and I truly appreciate the opportunity. It was very insightful.
Thank you so much for sharing such detail, Luleka. I can't read 88 names within how many minutes. Hence why we shared this document in advance, to just say congratulations to you all. Last year, when Ibuko and I and the board members were having conversations about expanding the fellowship, last year we did, I think, 77 mentees that were accepted. As exciting as it is to have a larger number of fellows and have a larger number of mentors, I should also admit that it's equally scary. It's like, ooh, we're trying something much more further than we've tried before. And I want to say a big thank you, starting with the mentees, for being cooperative with your mentors, for communicating effectively, for being cooperative with us, the Sprinng program managers. I want to say a big thank you for your engagement within the chat. It was always delightful to read your engagements on Saturdays and Sundays, and even have personal conversations with some of you. This success, or the success of this fellowship, is not just for Sprinng, it's also for you. So congratulations for making it to the end. And I also want to add, it's no small feat to complete the fellowship. As much as we can say, oh, you finished, it's 6 weeks, you got your certificate. It's not a small accomplishment because it's a lot of things that you get to learn within the fellowship, and you're bombarded with all at once within 6 weeks. And you're expected to kind of capture, retain, and also pursue further beyond the fellowship. And you held on well. So congratulations to everyone. Congratulations to the class of 2024. I also want to say a big shout out to all the mentors, all those who served fully and those that served as backup. You're the best. There is no better way to capture it. It's always a great privilege when we can call on you to say, hey, this is the goal we are trying to accomplish for this year, and this is why we need you, and you answer to our call. Some of these mentors are past fellows, and some of these mentors are repeating mentors of the fellowship. Some have served for over 6 cohorts, and we don't take your support for granted. We feel very privileged every time you come back to say yes and to serve and to support another writer in their journey. Thank you so much for being part of this year's fellowship, and thank you for participating in our weekend chat. It was, I won't say a blessing, to just hear the different perspective on the different topics that we covered within and outside this fellowship. So congratulations to you. Your mentee's success is your success as well. Shout out to the 10 peer captains that served this year. Managing almost 100 fellows is not easy on our end, and to create a program whereby we can delegate some of these responsibilities to the fellows to also gain experience is such a great thing. Congratulations to Courtney, Sarah, Comfort, Emmanuel, Jessica, Quadri, Victoria, B. Elliot, Adiola, Boitumelo. We are very grateful for your support. You made the process so much easier for us and even exemplified leadership that many of your cohort members could follow as well. Some of you had fellows that completed all the weekly contests, all the weekly assignments, and didn't miss anything, right on time with the deadline. So thank you for taking charge in your small pods. And I hope you continue to take this leadership experience and implement it in future pursuits that you have. I want to give more shout outs to those who have single or double honorary ribbons on their certificates. We will be distributing the certificates right after this session up until July 25. The black ribbon is for those that completed all the weekly contests and also all the weekly assignments in their journal and submitted that on time. The orange ribbon is for those who served as a peer captain. So shout out to these people who have double or single honorary ribbons. There's more coming up in the next slides. We had about 50 fellows who completed everything that was required, and some even did more. We go through the weekly feedback form with so much excitement and delight to just read not just your writings, but the engagement with it, sharing with us how the fellowship experience is for you. I saw someone asked for ice cream in the week 5 feedback form, you know yourself. So it's nice to just see the commitment that you have, the way you've done well with this fellowship. I can imagine is how you are going above and beyond expectations elsewhere. So congratulations on your black ribbon if you see your name on the screen here. And then for our contest winners, this year we tried something new with the week 4 contest just to keep things going week after week, and it was a great experience reading all your submissions and also selecting the winners. I remember getting to week 4 with Ibuko and going back and forth with some of the reviews, book, movies and piece reviews that were submitted, and we're like, we can't just pick one winner, it has to be 2. So you guys gave us so much compelling pieces that it was even just hard to select at some point. Congratulations to the winners: Abasi for week 1, Why I Write; Michael for week 2, Poetry Contest; Chioma for week 3, Prose Poetry and Flash Fiction Contest; Daniel and Gospel for week 4's Review Contest. The next steps. What happens after the fellowship ends? As I mentioned, you will get your certificates from now up until July 25. We are going to work on collating the fellowship feedback into a yearbook that has the fellows' bios as well as some of their commentaries for their mentors and also for the fellowship in a document, which will be published and shared on our website sometime in August, towards the end of August. We're also going to be collating a fellowship anthology that will be published towards the end of the year. If your work is selected to be published in the anthology, we will follow up with you. For the group chats, mentors can stay in their group chats. There is no change that happens in there. We post continuously, and sometimes accomplishments, good news, anything that you want to share, just following the fellowship guidelines that has been provided at the beginning. For the mentees, we will be transitioning you into the alumni group chat for follow-up with your mentor/mentee. In the past, while we've provided guidelines, I genuinely want to say it's kind of up to you how you want to retain engagement outside this fellowship. Some mentors and mentees have collaborated outside this fellowship for anthologies, literature or creative writing opportunities, and even gain more support beyond to pursue things like MFA programs and such. So the opportunities that you have to engage with each other after this fellowship is kind of limitless, but I will say be respectful to each other's time, and we're very grateful to the mentors who are willing to keep that relationship going. The journey doesn't end here. I remember at the beginning of the fellowship during the orientation, I had shared this exact slide with you. A couple of months into the year, we ran a brief survey of our alumni, and about 1/4 of them filled the survey. So I think 1/4 is a good representation of like 240 something fellows as of that moment. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of the things that we asked them to share with us. Some of the fellows had started their own organizations, literary organizations. Some had published books, so many other fantastic things. And I bring this back up to say that your journey doesn't end here. There is a reason why the manual is as dense as it is for a 6-week program. It's because we understand that you won't fully read, comprehend, or use everything within those 6 weeks. And we want to build you up for a couple of years for that. I hope that even beyond the fellowship, you are able to utilize the resources within the fellowship to not just serve yourselves, but to serve the communities that you belong in. Some of you live in countries whereby there are less literary communities and engagements, and it's up to you based on experiences like this to start something up, no matter how small. So I look forward to the impact that you're going to make beyond this fellowship. The alumni group chat is there for you to come and share your successes, your accomplishments, and let us celebrate you. Likewise, the mentors group chat. I'm going to hand it over to Ibukun Ogeyemi from here to wrap us up. Ibukun is the Chief Operations Officer of Sprinng, and she was a mentee in the second cohort of the Sprinng Writing Fellowship.
Hi, Sprinng Writing Fellowship class of 2024. I keep thinking 7-8 weeks ago we were here and it was orientation, and now we are here and it is graduation. And I just want to cheer to you guys. Like, I want to cheer to the Sprinng Writing Fellowship class of 2024 for staying committed and persevering, for learning and unlearning, for stretching creatively, for discovering new depths, for being amazing, for being committed. And I want to cheers to our mentors for the time, energy, and dedication, for giving their resources, for pouring into the mentees, for sharing the knowledge, and also giving all of their best to the growth of these mentees. And it really, really means a lot. And also, this is just cheering to happy endings that bring greatness, the bad newness, and that open doors. It is my hope that you continue to bloom, that you continue to win, you continue to thrive, and that may writing bring you a soft life. So cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.